Don't go away, because first our hot new fantasy adventure starts about the kingdom of Elidor.
Elidor was a children's fantasy novel by Alan Garner, published in 1965, and this subsequently got shoved through a sausage machine in 1995 and turned into a 6-part BBC series that I refuse to accept anyone actually watched, because I've never heard of it before in my life. The only reason I'm sat here today talking about it is because it was sent to me by Ashens, who told me it was so bad he couldn't even finish the whole 6 episodes.
It's my right to set a challenge for my suitors.
Let's begin with the credits, because if this isn't just Ecstatica 2, I don't know what is. I mean, seriously, the fact Andrew Spencer Studios had nought to do with these graphics blows my mind. Our story begins with a dwarf climbing a mountain. Oh, it wasn't a dwarf, they were just very far away. I apologise to the dwarf community on behalf of poor perspective choices.
Here is the scroll.
The treasures. Still not safe.
Go through the gate and find these children. They will guard the treasures.
How will I reach these children?
How do I reach these kids?
Make the fiddle sing. Play the note that opens the gate.
So that's the plot set up. Now let's watch multiple children all talking at the same time for no reason.
I want to go home. I don't like it. What did I say? There's no way I'm no way.
I hate this. Come on, we're not staying here.
Around the corner, what do we see?
Seriously, I hope it's not these kids that end up being the ones spoken about in the mystical scroll, because I hate all of them already. Thankfully, some Morris dancers have turned up.
Welcome to Worsley. Don't miss the summer festival.
Helen, put that horse down.
You can't just kill a horse because you hate them, Mum. Besides, I don't think your daughter's even a trained veterinarian.
This place is out of the ark.
It'll be all right. Now behave. Roland?
The hell is wrong with these children? These two fantasy people bang on about a magical gate again, followed by some evil-looking horse riders. And then not 20 seconds later, this little prick kicks a football at a door again. Send him back to the orphanage, he's broken. He'll be an arsonist within a week, mark my words.
Our price. I want that half-man, half-biscuit tape.
Don't let them hear what the words say, that's all.
Nigel Blackwell swears all the time.
It's not swearing, it's social comments.
Okay, if you were going to tell me before I watched this that the child actors were going to start having a half-man, half-biscuit debate on a tram headed to Our Price, I would not have believed you. But there it is, in all of its glory. Definitely not a self-insert by the writers involved. But before we can contemplate that further, they've spotted a monk in a field.
There's nothing there.
There! It's a scarecrow being brained. Leave him alone, you. There was, I saw it. What exactly did you see? You saw it yourself. We just saw a scarecrow. It was like a scarecrow. It was watching me.
Who'd be bothered?
Why is there always one kid who saw the thing he saw while everyone else assumes it was something entirely different and innocent? I can't wait until the big monk truth comes out and this bull-kicking lout gets vindicated.
Pick a street and we'll go and find it.
How do you stop it?
Now. Tuesday Street. No, Thursday Street.
Or actually, maybe he has just discovered sniffing glue. The kids end up down a dark alleyway at night, even though it was just daytime, and I have no idea why they're there, but they found a spooky door that they all just pile into because kids in children's TV shows just love to throw caution to the wind and get themselves in murder situations.
Give me a break. If I can't have Mortal Kombat, I don't want Sonic the Hedgehog anything. I want this.
The chase? It's so childish. You're a computer-driven retard, David.
Yes, you heard that right. He really doesn't want Sonic the Hedgehog.
How much?
The prices change. Do you play the game? That's the question.
I've seen sex shops with less seedy vibes than this place. What even is this place? Why are they here? Anyway, the creepy old man gives them a video game called The Chase, and then threatens them.
Come back and pay me. If you can. That is.
Anyway, after escaping near death in some sort of back alley porn dungeon, the kids take a walk down the back alleys of Benefit Street, where, for some reason, old people just sit around amongst Victorian-era street urchins who beg for money.
Come on. I don't like this. Let's go back.
No. They think we're scared.
Just look as if you know where you're going. Come on. Money? There it is.
I get the feeling the writers involved in the show have never actually been to a council estate, because this is what I presume the Bullingdon Club think of whenever they see someone talking about Greggs or Primark. Putting this clearly ridiculous vision of poverty aside for one moment though, assuming this really is a real place where real things happen, why the fuck are the children here?
We're being watched. Nick, don't look at them.
Don't look the poor people directly in the eyes, Tarquin. They'll steal your pupils.
What do they do when there's no people left?
Left? What for?
Church. Going to church.
They knock them down.
Why are they now at a dilapidated church? I feel like the kids just left home and went on a whistle-stop tour of everywhere they really shouldn't be going.
What's happened? It's like being in a mirror.
Give up.
It is. It is. It's all moved round.
Don't be stupid, nothing's changed.
Okay, these kids are better at spot the difference than I am, because I had to cut back and forth between these two images 4 times before I even noticed anything was different. But furthermore, why are they just walking around in circles around a church? What is everyone's motivation for anything they're doing? Go home and play your stupid haunted Mega Drive cartridge, you time-wasting pricks!
Obviously the door came off, and they put it back the wrong way around when they're taking stuff out the church.
Yeah. Right.
Wake up, Dream Bucket.
Funny. Come on, to me. On my head. Listen.
Oh cool, look, it's one of those self-repairing balls I've heard so much about. But ignore that, there's a spooky ghost.
What is it?
It's a busker.
Yes, one of your traditional dematerializing buskers.
Why play here? There's no one here. He might be blind.
How could he get here if he was blind?
How is no one seeing it was a fucking ghost? Anyway, Bananafoot smashes his CGI ball through a CGI window, which of course means I have to go in the church, because why would you want to leave a self-repairing football that wasn't even yours behind? Inside the church, Bend It Like Bono finds himself caught in some sort of audio time loop warp between this world and some other world. The one with the horseman in it. I assume it's called Elidor, so let's just go with that. After wandering around the church, touching things endlessly while this guy makes this noise, he's eventually gently speared through the palm. Either that or he's got stigmata. Regardless, he doesn't seem that arsed about it. He just carries on wandering around the church looking for everyone else until the fake dwarf turns up and slowly limps around after him. Careful, lad, he's got a stick! Absolute fanny.
The runt is all we have. Trust the strength of the smallest. The strength of the boy.
So it seems like this is our main character from this point on, and I should probably have bothered to learn his name by now, but I haven't because I hate everything about him.
said open the door!
Number 1, how the hell is he gonna climb that? Number 2, how on Christ's magical earth did you hear him whisper that from that far away? Don't bother with the spear, just wave a stick at him, he's allergic to them apparently. Also, just one spear chuck and you give up and run home. These guys aren't much to worry about, are they? Yeah, you got your football back. I really wish that was the end of the series in its entirety. A beautiful, happy ending for our stupid ball-kicking hooligan. But no, there's more. There's always more.
And more from the Anorak is coming soon on Children's BBC. But now, enjoy part 2 of our top fantasy adventure, Elidor.
Episode 2 starts off with our young protagonist touching everything again, because apparently that's all he does, followed by more footage of these horsemen riding on the same beach, because apparently that's all they do. This cacophony of touching and horse riding continues until protagonist boy notices that the fake dwarf has decided to leave him, even though he specifically brought him there.
Children must keep and guard the treasures. Your task now is to find Findhorn. Find the unicorn.
Findhorn? I don't believe there is a Findhorn.
Findhorn must be found, you know this. Without the unicorn, the land dies.
Findhorn.
Now, where are these children?
This runt will not last the day.
And the others?
Bandway. The mound has them.
Then they are dead?
Unless there is something in this that I cannot see. Elidor means more than the lives of children.
After a whole lot of nothing, the horse-riding gimp stabs some sand, and then suddenly our main lad is awake and off on his own again. It genuinely feels like the show has a ton of deleted footage, all of the bits that would explain what the hell is going on.
Go away! Go away! Get off me! Go away!
Here's one!
This child must break the mound.
This is no child.
So you're telling me all it took for fake dwarf to believe in this lad was for him to punch an overgrown seagull in the face? Honestly though, I'm not sure why anyone wants to save this world from anything or anyone. It's all grey and there's only 4 people that live here. Now let's watch some random things happen with no explanation.
One, two, 3, 4.
counted them all! 1, 2, 3.
Jesus Christ, lad, did you drop out of school at the age of 8?
3. Stupid. You could drive a bus through there.
Oh, so did he actually not need to count them all? And there were 0 consequences. If anyone currently understands what's going on, please can you put your answers in a self-addressed envelope and send it directly to my brain? If you thought things were going to start easing up, our hero is now talking to a glove in the floor before trying to stab it with a knife.
Is there light in Garias?
Where's my sister? This is her glove.
Is there light? You cannot even see the light. You are no use to me.
Who are you? Where am I?
This entire conversation has been like watching two people on the internet argue. One person asks a question, the other person ignores it and asks a different question, and that continues on and on until eventually one of them is just going to say, "Lol, you got triggered."
You made the rocks stand still.
It's all your fault. You brought us here and left us.
How did you make the rocks stand still?
Rocks are rocks. They can't move. Where's my sister?
Is there light in the east? Did you see it? Is there light in Garias?
Where are my brothers and my sister? And why is Helen's glove stuck in the rock? And where's the rest of her?
Listen, boy! You have struggled on your knees through the filth and greyness that now is my land's present, past, and future. There is darkness everywhere except in Garias.
I have no idea what everyone is banging on about other than this lad wants to find his sister. Not too asked about his brothers, but those two were dickheads, to be fair.
Find and guard the treasures of Elidor. I have won the spear of Ildana from Garias.
Where's my sister and my brothers? Where's my sister? Where are my brothers and my sister? Where's my sister? Where's Helen? Where's my sister? Where's my sister? Where's Helen? Where's my sister? Where's Helen? Where's Helen?
They're in the mound with the rest of the treasures. You will have to get them out.
This episode has now gone on for 12 minutes, and I don't actually think anything has happened. You can't give us an episode where everything under the sun happens, and then follow it up with an episode where you just cut between some guy with a limp and some guy on a horse over and over again. So far, the only plot point that's been added is that there's a golden castle over there, and they have to try and get in. It is, however, 1,000,000 miles away, so limping man makes young, annoying boy imagine a door by shouting at him.
What?
I said keep your eyes shut!
Don't shout at me, I'm doing the best I can.
But apparently only the boy can go through the door for reasons. Inside he finds a big long tunnel through which he narrates his thoughts, just in case we're all starting to get confused about whether or not he thinks the tunnel has an end.
There must be an end.
Where's my sister?
Helen, David, Nick, come on. We've got to get out of here.
Touch it. Touch it with your hand.
This is... I mean, you're all hearing this, right?
Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Don't hurt it. Don't hurt it.
This is making me very uncomfortable.
How do we get out?
Take a treasure each and follow me.
What treasures? Look!
I know I belabor this point, but I truly have no idea what is going on. The show tries to follow the guideline of show don't tell, but it consistently tells you things you don't really need to know over and over, and then doesn't bother telling you things that are probably quite helpful, like what the fuck is going on. Let's see if Hop Along McFantasy's speech gives us any clues.
A crop blighted, a spring dry, a child dead. Too late then. War, siege, betrayal, and the dying of the light. I have killed and endured in the belief that you would come. You will bring light to Elidor. There is strength in you, I can feel it, but you must be careful. Others can feel it and will fear it.
I still don't see how you knew you'd be outside the church.
Or who we were. It's us.
And we're carrying the right treasures.
And they shall come from the waves, and the glory of Elidor shall pass with them.
Oh, okay, so the general gist is fate did it. It's all just preordained fate. No one gets to have free agency, and now to top it all off, someone just detonated a nuke.
Run where the man lives! Run!
That's the end of that, I guess. Hopefully episode 3 is a bit more like Threads. It might be miserable, but at least I'll have the faintest idea what's going on. Episode 3 kicks things off in double quick time, with the kids being sent back to the church with the magical treasures, and hopefully they'll now get to buy that half-man, half-biscuit cassette, or play that Mega Drive game they got in episode 1. The treasures, however, have turned back into everyday items.
That's the gate shut. Nothing's gonna get through there now.
Where are the treasures?
They had to change. Otherwise we couldn't have hidden them.
Now it's time for them to be chased by poor people.
Kids, I'll swing for you lot, I swear to God.
I second that nomination. Not only because he knows the law, but because he throws a good punch.
You've had the lead off the roofs, the stained glass out the windows, and now you've got souvenirs from the kitchen. Come on, hand them over.
They're not yours, they're ours.
Unlawful possession of council property. Trespass.
Remember the snake tree in the mound?
Ah!
This is teaching children all the right messages.
Useless piece of stone.
Pick that up.
Well, that was worth watching. And now the Gimp is on television.
What's that?
I don't know, but it'll never catch on.
Come on, it's smelling me!
Give over, it's not real.
I told you!
Shut up.
The kids wander around in the middle of Manchester at night because their parents are probably just glad to be rid of them. And back in Elidor, the man, yep, that one, and his Gimp are sort of just following them around, but not in the real world, in Elidor. And they've just found a packet of silk cut, which I presume is going to be very important to the story going forward, or as important as any other plot point that's been scattered around in this mental show.
Don't tell me it's a power cut.
Come on.
What are we getting off for?
Nice one, Nick.
We were stopping the tram. Or these were.
How do you know this? Anyway, everything electronic they go near turns absolutely bananas for whatever reason. Apart from when they get in this taxi. This taxi is immune to magical powers, probably some sort of magical taxi, because everything is nothing, and nothing is everything in this show. The telly, however, is not immune.
What's wrong with the telly?
Idiot. What? That makes the picture jump.
Hi, Mum.
Oh.
Have you been mud wrestling again?
Come on, baths. And get rid of all that rubbish. And don't leave mud all over the bathroom floor. Come on, where have you been? We've been worried to death about you.
So worried you just had your arses parked in front of the TV all night? The kids hide the treasures in the loft, and then everyone just acts like the following 24 hours hasn't happened.
We shall not be moved. Sing, Mum.
I'd sooner sulk.
No wonder you sat down. So would I.
Stopped thinking it was a dream, have we?
I was hoping it was a dream, actually.
Sorry. We should keep the things handy, in case Malibran wants them in a hurry.
If there's anything left of him, you saw those creatures coming through the woods.
He wasn't frightened.
Well, the treasures were safe. That's all that mattered to him.
Those creatures weren't real. Fear made us think them.
It's a good job these kids know exactly what's going on, even though no one has really even properly explained it to them either.
No! I'll go and get him tomorrow.
Hey up. What are you up to, pal?
Nothing. I used to live here. I've come back to pick up some gear.
What kind of gear? Electrical stuff? Generators, out like that? Everything's going mad round here. Berserk. Tellies, computers, mobile phones, washing machines, you name it, it's doing its nut. There's something in here jamming everything to hell and back.
Electricity's off at the mains.
Don't tell me, pal. I've checked the mains and the wiring both, and I'll tell you something else. They all pig in places wedged, jam-packed full of static electricity. You're going to ask me, can I earth it, aren't you?
Can you?
Can I wax?
Which room is it coming from?
Which room do you think it's coming from?
No idea.
Nor have I. However, I have just had a big stroke of luck. I knock off now, and I go on holiday for 2 weeks, which means someone else can sort it. Don't get electrocuted, will you?
Just let this random kid in the house unattended then, fair enough. Thankfully, the electrician was so gormless he didn't even see these crudely drawn outlines on the roof. But more important things than cowboy electricians are afoot.
No, it's me. They're not there. There's nothing there. Nobody. Nothing.
Right, okay, let me just clarify something here. The kids said they're gonna hide the treasures in the loft.
They can go in the loft till we decide where they're safest. Right.
In their old house. I've been sat here wondering why on earth the treasures have suddenly teleported to an entirely different building. There is no establishing shot of the house they turn up at when they get back from the taxi, so I just assumed they were at the house that the show began with. The only reference to this not being their current house is in this bathroom scene, but I was so bored at this point I completely bloody missed it.
There's no one moving in here for a month.
And now he's hiding the treasures in the shed, which he originally said he'd done before he moved them into the loft in their old house.
What have you done with them?
Shed.
But now I realise that the shed he was talking about in that scene wasn't the same shed as this one, because now they're in a different house with a different shed. Children's TV does not need to be this complicated, guys. Calm your fucking tits.
I went and had a look at the old house today.
You can look all you like. I'm not moving back.
There was a bloke from nowhere there. The whole place was filled with static.
That's nice, Roland.
Right. Anyone who wants to watch Question of Sport is welcome to stay. No taking the mickey, though. We all know they wear funny sweaters.
Funnier than usual tonight, Dad.
Question of Sport. 140.
No, not Question of Sports.
Bill. Yes. I'm Willie Clark.
All right. Who's had that Super Mario thingy plugged into this set?
Classic dad thought process there. The TV's broken, so it's Nintendo's fault.
This ain't working either. Or the portable TV.
It was working this afternoon.
Well, it's not now. And listen to this.
These guys already know that the treasures make electronics go loopy, so why are they suddenly acting confused?
That's the car. Someone's trying to steal the car. Come on!
Shall I ring the police?
Nobody could get in there.
Maybe it's a ghost.
Yeah, or something similar.
There's no such thing as ghosts.
No, not ghosts, just semi-transparent buskers. There's a whole lot of nothing happening in this episode, yet again, but never mind all that, Mum's vibrator is on the fritz. No vinegar strokes for you tonight, and now the entire house is going mental.
Are you alright?
They came out of space.
Holidays 4, they're coming for you.
Spooky.
Daddy's home.
Must be some freak electrical condition or something.
I don't want to sleep on my own.
Our room. On the sofa bed.
It's the treasures.
Tomorrow, we'll get a box and bury them.
What good will that do?
We'll make a metal box into a Faraday cage.
And where the fuck did you learn how to make a Faraday cage?
Dogs.
That dog's not from around here.
That's your ending. It's no bloody wonder nobody remembers this shite. We're halfway through this absolute dreck, and for once, I'm going to do you all a favour. This miserable series has just ruined my life for the past hour and a half, and I think it's only fair that I summarise the next 3 episodes as succinctly as possible, so we can all be done with this short and sharpish. When I tell you that almost nothing happens for 2 more episodes, you're probably going to believe me based on the evidence of the previous 2 episodes. To summarise, the kids decide to move the treasures again for the 15th time, probably to some other house they haven't yet bothered to establish, keeping us guessing as to where anyone or anything is at any given time. The kids also find a vase with a unicorn on it.
Oh no, it's smashed.
It's ancient. Come on, we'll get caught.
There are multiple, and I mean multiple, scenes of the bad guys doing things in Elidor that doesn't make a lick of sense and don't actually move the plot forward in any meaningful way. And every time you think something is just about to happen,
That front door drives me mad.
it turns out that nothing is happening. It's also a good time to point out that the cliffhanger at the end of the last episode isn't actually referenced at the start of this episode at all, and that happens with every single episode of the show. It sets things up, and by the time you get to the next episode, they've already forgotten about it, so they can draw out the show with more scenes of fantasy men wandering around doing absolutely fuck all. If you want to just see how much nothing happens in this show, here's Ralph Little dressed as a Morris dancer being rude.
Not sure I should give you any money, rattling a door like that.
Nobody's rattled your door, mister. We've not been near your door.
If you don't believe these words I say, step in while horse and clear the way.
This scene adds nothing to anything. It's just there. It's just a thing that happened in an episode. Now's a good time to also point out that this lass is Suzanne Shaw from Hearsay.
When I'm with you, I am filled with emotion.
The show treads water like it's going out of fashion, and what you're left to endure is abject shit. And I've seen some shit, lads. I've seen shit you people wouldn't believe, but this is actual torture. Without question, every single time you think something is going to happen,
It is me. Brought them here.
nothing happens. Nothing happens over and over and over again. This show gives us 10 different plot points in episode 1 and has circled the drain ever since. In episode 5, the kids go to the mildest party you've ever seen.
For Christmas! Nick's already pulled the cracker, looks like.
As Roland is the only one not sucking face, he wanders about and finds that the fantasy man from Elidor is trying to communicate with Roland through the power of multimedia.
Never give up, dear. It's not me. Yeah, right, sure. this one? Hunters. There's nothing to chase.
Don't know how, don't ask how, it's just something that happened, and as per usual, it amounted to nothing. The kids then leave the party, and as is standard, no one believes the things Roland is saying, even though they've just witnessed it with their own eyes.
Stop it, Roland. This is coming out of your mind, and you've got to stop it.
Shut up, all of you. You don't know anything.
Oh, also Fantasy Man found a unicorn. Didn't explain where he found it, he just did. It's just there now. And then he sent it to the real world. But because this is now a running theme, the kids don't actually believe that they have just seen the thing they saw.
Must have hit some barbed wire.
Ran away from the riding school.
That was no horse from a riding school.
Why are you pretending? You saw it. You saw the horn on his head.
5 minutes of nothing later, Roland summons the bad guys to prove that he can summon the bad guys and then unsummon the bad guys. But he can't do the unsummon bit, so now the bad guys are just in the real world. But they don't actually do anything yet, they just wander off. They don't come back again until a further nothing has happened for another 10 minutes.
Do I look all right?
You'll knock 'em all stone dead, Mum.
I hope not. Dead people ruin a dance. Dance, 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 dance. Dead people ruin a dance. It's a joke. I've had a gin and tonic with a slice of lemon in it. I tell jokes when I've been eating lemons. Dance, dance. I tell jokes. Dance, dance.
You'll knock 'em all stone dead, Mum.
Dead people ruin the dance. Dead people ruin the dance. Dead people ruin the dance. I tell jokes when I've been eating lemons.
Mum and Dad have gone to a party and the kids are home alone. 25 minutes of footage of two men touching a wall later, the episode ends. It just ends. Now you may be wondering why I've even bothered to persevere with this absolute abomination, but apparently the final episode prompted multiple complaints from parents, and I just have to know why that was. Presumably it wasn't because parents felt their children had just wasted 3 hours of their lives watching this, and I'm hoping to God that everyone just dies.
I'm drawing a diagram so we can put the plants back in the right place.
What? I can smell burning.
You're imagining it.
Don't imagine things, okay?
Final episode, the kids still continue to disbelieve everything that comes out of Roland's mouth for reasons I'll just never understand. They go and get the treasures back again, because apparently the bad guys just aren't there anymore, because again, none of the cliffhangers in this series actually lead into the next episode in any meaningful way. 90% of the footage in this episode so far has just been Fantasy Man having a fight with 15 other people. I don't know who they are, I don't care who wins.
What? I could hear something breathing. No! Wait!
I'll be glad to get a shot of these damn bits of rubbish.
They don't look anything like the real ones.
But this is still a sword. You can feel it.
And I could tell this from any cup.
Back in the house, Hearsay gets scared by a door handle, and presumably no one is going to believe her.
What's the matter?
What? Someone's trying to get in the back door.
They know we've moved. 999, ring the police!
Oh no, apparently she's very believable, it's just Roland who can't convince anyone. The gimp gets a beating and the kids all decide to leg it with the treasures, and you'd think it'd be quite easy to escape because these bad guys walk everywhere with a hunch, but every time it cuts to a different scene, they're always right behind them. Apart from when it's convenient for them not to be, and they manage to escape on a tram. Just to keep the excitement levels up, the kids then also get on a bus.
My own true love, and when I return united we will be. It's not the leaving of Liverpool that grieves me, but me darling when I think of thee. Hello, Blossom.
Where to, you drunken bum?
No. I'll go round till that runs out. I've seen some bad things tonight. I'm telling you. There are things out there that would tear holes in your mind if you'd let them. Out there. Hey, I've just seen a big, white, shining horse.
Why has this guy been so traumatized by a horse? Anyway, after a minute, the drunk old man recognizes that these are the kids he chased away from the church, and he steals the treasures back off them.
Please, you mustn't. We're looking after them for somebody.
It's all right. I'll look after them. As soon as I've had a drink.
Why does he care so much about this random bric-a-brac that some random children had? And how the hell did these guys get here so quick? And now there's a horse with a horn glued to its head. Why is that important? I don't know, but I do know that watching a drunk old man fight a gimp in a bar is a very common sight in Manchester.
5 pints of Guinness where the mouth is. Oh, and have one yourself. Hey!
Get out! You bad! Pair of you! Get out! Out!
Oh, and let me tell you that I love you.
Skip to the end, the kids fight the bad guys and win. And then it turns out in order to save Elidor, Roland has to stab the unicorn to death. And he just does that without question.
Please, Findhorn, sing.
When does it sing?
When it dies. It is for you to kill it.
And the treasures they've had to protect for the entire runtime of this show, they just throw them in the air. And that's it. That's the end. It just ends there. So much of the show is taken up with inconsequential nothingness, or things that make absolutely zero sense, or things that seem like they might be important that are never brought up ever again. There was an entire scene in episode 1 where they went and got a magical video game cartridge. It is never used, nor is it ever mentioned again. 3 of 6 entire episodes are dedicated to watching the children hide the treasures in different places, while the vast majority of the runtime in those episodes is just fluffed out with footage of the bad guys doing stuff that doesn't actually achieve anything of any importance. This is, by far and away, the worst thing I have ever watched. When Ashen said he gave up after 2 episodes, I thought him no more than a coward and a cad, but now I see he was actually a visionary, a man who could see that Elidor, in fact, had nothing but misery and turmoil for anyone who dared to sit through all 6 episodes. I have won no victory here today. I have achieved nothing. Elidor is a black hole that has opened in my soul that will now stay here until the end of time. My life is immeasurably worse for having seen it. It is anti-art. It is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and now it is your curse as well as mine. We share this pain together. We are all worse people now than we were yesterday. And I don't blame Ashens for this. He warned me, he told me it was bad. And I don't blame Alan Garner, he probably had no say in the production of this shite. And the guy who adapted it is dead now, so it doesn't really feel right to tell him off. No, I think only one person deserves all of the blame for this travesty, and that's Toby fucking Anstis. So thanks, Toby Anstis. Thanks for nothing, you shit-shoveling prick.